Good evening. Yesterday I actually recorded a vlog and I was just about to finish it or prepare it for upload. Unfortunately, I realized that I made a mistake when filming that, so the video didn't work out as I was hoping for. Fortunately, I recorded a different video as well today, so I do have an episode for tomorrow, but I thought I might just kind of repeat what I was saying in that recording that I did this morning, because I think it's an important idea, and I hope I can kind of repeat all of the thoughts or the train of thought that I had this morning. And this video is basically all about not finding your niche. I made this video about finding your niche, and I'm kind of saying, yes, finding your niche is important if you want to grow on YouTube. And since I'm making all of these videos about how to create a YouTube channel, how to make these simple vlogs in a very simplistic way to kind of make it more authentic in a way, I get kind of surfaced or recommended these videos where people kind of tell you how to grow a YouTube channel. And the biggest advice, or the advice that most often is being told, is basically you need to find your niche, or once you find the video recipe that is working for you, you should double down on that recipe and kind of repeat that in obviously unique ways, but still kind of try to stick to that recipe and that success story to kind of grow on YouTube. And while that is a very good advice, and I think that is probably the best way to grow your YouTube channel, I'm not really sure if that's the best way to stay happy and to be in a position where you don't get into the daily grind, so to say. I need to preface this with take everything that I'm now saying with a big grain of salt, because I am in the position of having these two YouTube channels as a passion project, as something that I enjoy, and that is my secondary creative outlet. I'm a freelance film editor in the advertising world, so I have an income that pays my rent. So I'm not relying on these YouTube channels to pay my rent. These are my hobbies and my passion, where I can experiment, where I can create a community, create films or reviews that I enjoy. I can test camera, I can test gear, I can be creative. This is my creative outlet, my passion project. So I don't need to make this work. And honestly, with the second channel, I don't want it to work in a way. I don't want a success story with this. It would be great, but that is not my goal, because I've noticed that once you get into this chase of numbers, subscribers and views, and wanting high views, also check out my video about staying safe on YouTube, or not safe, staying sane on YouTube by not kind of looking at all of the analytics all of the time. I put it here in the info tab above. When you get into that like hamster wheel of looking at numbers and trying to be successful, it becomes a grind, and you suddenly don't enjoy it that much if you're not careful. And especially when you find a recipe that works for you. A very good example is Instagram. For example, I'm riding motorcycles, and there are so many huge motorcycle Instagram accounts, maybe not anymore or not that much as they did before because Instagram kind of changed. But previously, those motorcycle Instagram accounts grew to a large account with lots of subscribers because they found a way to make the motorcycle look great, and that gathered a lot of likes. And they noticed, okay, I double down on this. And then basically you notice it's an account with 100k subscribers, but it's basically just 200, 300 pictures that are basically just from that motorcycle and all of the same. And I'm sitting there, that is really boring for you as a creator, just making that picture from that motorcycle always the same way. And while that is an extreme, you can also see it somewhat in YouTube. For example, my most successful videos on my main channel are everyday carry videos. And while I could double down on that and just make everyday carry videos, I would really get bored by that. I want to make reviews about unique products, but those videos don't get any views. And I don't want to double down on one specific topic. And that's what I want to be very careful about on this channel. This channel is, as I said, my overarching topic is filmmaking, and the overarching voice is this vlog style. But I don't want to only talk about how to make a YouTube channel. I will continue growing and then slowly integrating vloggy style topics, because at the moment I think my life is really boring, or when I have something that is not boring, I don't want to interrupt that whatever I'm doing that is not boring. I don't want to be that kind of vlogger that takes out this camera whenever something great in my life is happening and then document it, because I feel it interrupts what I'm doing. Or I cannot take you to work all of the time because I'm signing NDAs. I would say those situations when I'm working as a freelance film editor are really interesting for most of you, or not for most, for some of you who are filmmakers, but I cannot take you into those situations. Therefore, the parts where I would be able to film, I consider very boring. But I want to try to still incorporate those topics into these vlogs, so I don't kind of work myself into one niche where I suddenly realize, oh, this becomes a grind because I'm telling the story or the advice of, I don't know, just as an example, to how to make a YouTube channel, for example, for the 10th time or whatever. So long story short is, if you want to grow, yes, you should find your niche, and once you find a recipe that is working for you, double down on that, and then I'm pretty sure you can grow your channel fairly fast. That being said, I've seen so many channels that say like, oh, I have the recipe how you can grow your channel really fast, and then you look at their channel and it has a very low subscriber count and really low views, and I'm sitting there, what are you talking about? And that's why I'm saying everything that I say on this channel is from the perspective of someone who has already a channel and who has been a film editor for over 20 years. But I will always say, take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt, because obviously nothing that I do here on YouTube is working really successfully. My main channel has been plateauing for quite a while at 66,000 subscribers. This channel is also not growing that fast. So everything that I'm saying, take that with a grain of salt. I'm giving you all of this advice, not from the position of how to grow a channel, but from the position of do this or create a YouTube channel to practice new skills, to learn new skills, to get better in something that you might not have been proficient in. For example, talking to a camera, fluently articulating yourself in front of the camera, getting out of your comfort zone by showing your life to other people. learning how a camera works, learning how to edit, how to potentially color grade. That is what I'm trying to kind of tell you or recommend to you. I'm not a teacher, I'm not your coach or anything. I'm just saying I'm doing this now and I'm taking you onto this journey in the hopes that I can inspire you, because I've seen with myself all of the benefits of doing YouTube. I'm never be able to pay my rent. However, I've noticed so many other benefits in my day-to-day life by making a YouTube channel, by talking to the camera. For example, all of my client meetings are so much easier since I've started making YouTube channel, because I'm talking all of the time into the camera. And the ideas that I have in my head are always flowing, because I'm already thinking about what will be my next vlog and what will I be talking about. And so my brain is always on the move, and I enjoy that so much. So everything that I'm telling you about making a YouTube channel or making these simplistic vlogs is not with the goal of growing your channel, but rather as a goal. And this is something that Gary W. from Indonesia said. We are all, I hope I'm saying that correctly, how he said it. We are all learning. We are all learners. We're not students, but we are learners, and we're learning something. But because we're not in school anymore, so we're learning all of the time. And I really like that. So Gary, kudos to you for saying that, because that is really good philosophy. And yeah, again, if you want to grow your channel, do those things like finding your niche, doubling down on a recipe. But I would kind of advise to you, or not advise, I'm not your mentor, I'm not your teacher or whatever, but I would be very watchful to kind of not forget that this should be fun, that this is something that you started out of passion, that this is something that you wanted to do because you enjoyed it. And there, if you do all of these, in air quotes, tricks where you find your niche, doubling down on something that you find successful, there is always the risk that this suddenly becomes a grind, a job, because you're always doing the same thing just because you are chasing the numbers, right? And that's something that I just want to give to you, or recommend to you. Try to enjoy this. Don't look too much at the numbers, and hopefully for all of us, the numbers will come at some point, but we should not forget that this is supposed to be fun and enjoyable. All right, I think I got everything that I said this morning into this vlog, and yeah, I mean, let's bring this back to I really enjoyed my video about how simplicity is equaling authenticity. So check out the video up here, and YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. And yeah, the setup wasn't that great in terms of lighting, but my laptop is here. I was trying to edit that video and I noticed, not that great. Let's record that again. All right, see you in the next vlog. Thank you very much.